Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. I know it's early. We've not done a live video at 7 o'clock for quite some time, but circumstances demand it. And so let's see how many of you are out and about at this time to get the word out that this is on. Share the video, let others know that we're here. We're going to be discussing many things that are very important to our conversation. Bridges are being built at a quick pace. I told you all, I told you all at some point we will get to a critical mass and a tipping point. Plenty people, the least of the apostles, are joining and coming on board. The people that you wouldn't expect to become peppers, standing like peppers. Also, the Progressive Empowerment Party has taken a position on the crisis in Venezuela. We had an emergency management meeting. We discussed this issue as the agenda and came away with a position, which I will share with you right after this song. Share the video. Let them know we're here. This is Benjala. Camelot, brave boy.
Every day I sit and wonder how this sweet island gets so bitter. Low salary, but cost of living gets higher. We inhumane behavior, things now turned upside down. Smiling faces becomes a frown. Guns the law, we now live in fear. People no longer seems to care. My heart is filled with pain and agony. I see a man begging for mercy. They rob him and they shoot up me body. I can't take no more. I pray for we safety. Sweetie auntie, bring it back. Land of the milk and honey, bring it back. Sweet family, the way that it used to be. Like long ago, what was mine was yours too. Bring it back. Peace and harmony, my red, white and black country.
That chorus, the way he says, my red, white, and black country. Love, love. Share the video, share the video, share the video.
All I see is darkness all over. Stray bullets have running for cover. Shedding tears has become so natural. Humans behaving more like animals. No respect for values anymore. Even you don't make us breaking the law. Who can we trust? Tell me who to save. Each day on that take us. Dig new graves. Wailing and boarding is the new band launching. New sizes of boxes we measure it. Nearly your long soul you're here in the morning. Live from a movie in Trinidad, now show it. Sweetie auntie, bring it back. Land of the milk and honey, bring it back. Sweet family, the way that it used to be, Lord. Like a long ago, what was mine was yours too. Bring it back. Peace and harmony, my red, white and black country. I pleaded with you. I pleaded with you, Lord. Bring back the nation. Like it's blood and crime take over. The rich are now feeling the pressure. People die like flies, yet we fight. What would it take for us to unite? Look how we children them going astray. And they hold on to faith each day. So all we have a message and playing dumb. Many go pay in time to come. So all the innocent lives they taking. The mind and the souls they corrupting. Everything has a price to pay. On a great judgment day. Sweetie auntie, land of the milk and rose the sun through this perilous times. So know with you on board, blessings will flow. TNT will again arise to the sweet, sweet paradise. Bring it sweet TNT, bring it back, nothing milk and honey. Sweet family, the way that it used to be, Lord. Like long ago, what was mine was yours too. Peace and harmony, my red, white, and black country. Bring it back, I say. Bring it back, I say. Bring it back, I say. When it take a village to grow a child, and all we do is smile. Bring the country back, I say. When we eat from the same pot, we drink from the same cup. My red, white, and black country. When we look out for each other, we were all brothers keepers. My red, white, and black country. Sweet family. My red, white, and black country.
What is going on in Venezuela tonight? What is going on there tonight? And all the talk, all the gun bumping, you know we're good at that. What is going on in Venezuela tonight? Talk to any Venezuelan. A Venezuelan woman who is married to a friend of mine met me for the first time in the gym today, and she just came and she hugged me and she said, do not stop. Your country, my country, same country. Don't let it happen. They know, they see, they had to drop and run. We laughing and joking and talking about, and I'm hearing people talking about Yankee imperialism and Russian expansion and Chinese empire. All Venezuela want is their country back. That is all Venezuela want. Bring it back. The Venezuelans who are here working, who walking on the road crying, that girl who get kidnapped, raped, released by fake police, Venezuelan, good, decent people, you meet them. They working, they slaving, they serving you over the counter in the restaurant, in the kitchen. They doing anything. Anybody you hire in construction now is Venezuelans they bring in, because Venezuelans working hard. They can't afford to lose the job. So if you move in 2 barrow, they move in 4. Venezuelans working hard. And when you stop to talk to them, these are students or professionals, lawyers, doctors, engineers, people who were in 3rd year, 4th year university that had to drop and run and come with what could have fit in their backpack and come to this country and take all of the abuse, get kidnapped and sold into prostitution. This is what is going on in this country. There are Venezuelan people in this country operating as prostitutes. We're denigrating them and they're trapped because somebody else holding their passport and threatening to kill them. And I don't want to get caught up in a rant here on Venezuela, because plenty of y'all sharpening all your axe to grind on Uncle Sam. Not my concern. You ever hear this saying, not my circus, not my monkey? Bloom where you're planted. I am in Trinidad and Tobago. All of y'all who have CIA and Yankee and all this bullshit in all your head north. Go up there. Deal with that there. Don't deal with that here. The Progressive Empowerment Party had an emergency meeting of our management committee, and we have come up with our position on the looming Venezuelan crisis, because trust me, it is a very serious situation. Today, Russia responded to America with an equally strongly worded threat. They turned off electricity to the embassy, to the United States Embassy in Caracas. This thing escalated fast. The Progressive Empowerment Party's position on the looming crisis in Venezuela is this: we in this organization, the Progressive Empowerment Party, stand with the people of Venezuela, and whatever they decide is in their best interest, we support that, because that is democracy and that is lawfulness. So whatever the people want, if the people want Russia, if the people want China, if the people want America, is not for me and you to decide. Our mission is to support our brothers and sisters across the ocean. That's it. That's the long and the short of it. Again, all of you who have an issue with any of these larger countries, I strongly suggest, don't hide on my threads. Don't make me I have to block a man named Johannes Med, because all he is sharing is all these doctrines and all these things, and I'm wondering, what does that have to do with what is going on in these people's minds? Because the Venezuelan people have to have an idea of what they want. Somebody sent me a picture. I didn't share it because it's so inflammatory. This picture of 9 boxes lined up with babies in it. 9 cardboard boxes on a dirty table and a piece of paper marked maternity ward. They've reduced that country back to the Stone Age again. It is not our circus. It is not our monkeys. The Venezuelan government, whichever of the two, because now there are two, there is Maduro and there is the opposition leader who the United States and half the world recognize. So the thing getting very serious. And again, the people who are supposed to determine where their country go from here are the people of Venezuela. My view on Russia, China, and America will stay behind my lips. I'm not sharing it because I don't want to get caught up in distractions and misdirections. I think my country's prime minister tried to take advantage of the misery of the people of Venezuela. I think that Dragonfield gas deal was bordering on theft. I believe that the reason that it is shrouded in secrecy, that we can't know what it is because the government of Venezuela is looting the country. And Trinidad and Tobago, through that Dragonfield gas deal, was going to drive the getaway car. But all that done. And what we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have to be very mindful, wary, and careful of is that we don't piss Uncle Sam off, because all your Trump talk and all your Obama talk wouldn't help feed you and your children if sanctions start. Because all them little 1% and contract mafia and big shot Syria and all this shit done at the port, you will see them digging in garbage too. Because when Uncle Sam lock you down, you're locked down. So don't piss our neighbors to the north off, because we are in their backyard. That is all I say. China and Russia know where they're doing. And then, what does they say? What does they say about when elephants fight, grass get trampled? Don't be the grass in this. Don't let Trinidad and Tobago, don't be the grass in this fight between the elephants. Let Russia, America, and China do their business. Not we circus, not our monkeys. Our only concern is the people of Venezuela. That is our concern. I suggested, and I stand by it, Trinidad and Tobago needs to set up properly, quickly, refugee camps, because we are going to get a wave and we need to be prepared. Cedros, Chagaramas, where we have space, set up refugee camps, proper facilities, put the army to work, building tent. We have plenty bamboo in this country. We have plenty canvas. Let me start now. See it coming. See it coming. Because it's coming. Again, for those who arrive late, Jamon Mikhail Scott, anytime you have a troll to address, pass it to Dave Lux and he will have it addressed. Our position, the Progressive Empowerment party's position. Jean-Claude, we are going to get refugees whether we want them or not. And Trinidad and Tobago does not have the ability to stop them in the sea and drown them. So we are going to have to accept them. But if you plan it in a proper way and you manage it, it doesn't have to get out of control. So that when that war done, they could go back home. As a mission. The song that we played at the start of this video, Bring It Back, is for our red, white, and black country. And like my brother and his family and so many other foreign-based Trinis who just want to come home, who just want to come back to Trinidad and Tobago, Venezuelan people, all the thing we giving them, all the nasty scandal we scandalizing those human beings, they don't want to be in Trinidad and Tobago, you know. They want to go home. They want to go to their country. And we should put ourselves in their shoes. They have a saying, there go I, but for the grace of God. We could have been in that situation or worse. My strongest advice to Trinidadians and Tobagonians is this. Avoid the set of unnecessary anti-American bullshit on the threads. The United States of America, when it fights war, it fights it very clumsy. They have precision weapons, but things get damaged that people talk about in rooms after to learn and know better. This little island could disappear in the rush. Chill, slowly roll, let we stay in we lane. Trinidad and Tobago, be very careful that we do not come down on the wrong side of this. Economic sanctions from the United States of America will wipe us out in 3 months. There will be nothing left. Be very, very clear. We need to hold our corner, stay in our lane, respect the size of the players playing, and express solidarity with the people of Venezuela. What they want, we support. That is that issue. Since the matter break, and I have been sharing news, people have been posting on my threads all their pro and anti-American nonsense, and I telling you, leave me out of all your thing. Because all you know thing that I don't know. You see the unbottomless well and all this bacchanal all you have. I fighting for my country. I blooming where I planted. I dealing with I hanging my hat where my hand could reach. I want to fix what I could fix. Making a set of noise about the CIA and Allende and all of this. Not my circus. Not my monkey. I am not. There's nothing my voice added to that chorus could do. The only assistance that I could give is to the people of Venezuela and guidance to my country. Stay in your lane. Any chance you get to talk to Americans, tell them, Keith Rowley did not consult us. Keith Rowley went and conga line with Stuart Young and Maduro without consulting us. We weren't invited. We wasn't in the conga line. Keith Rowley went and signed his dragon field gas bullshit and didn't explain to the people of Trinidad and Tobago the terms of that deal. We not in it. And if all you have a problem with Keith Rowley and the PNM, Balize House, take it up there. Because we the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we not involved in that. So we gonna stick up in, right? I'm asking you again, share this video, please, and share the sneak preview on Wednesday coming at 8 p.m. The Progressive Empowerment Parties, listen to this, and I will explain, because a lot of you are going to hear this and say, wait a minute, that sounds a little bit strange. So hear this. On Wednesday coming at 8 p.m., the Progressive Empowerment Party's second anniversary celebration and opening of our South Regional Headquarters, that 30-minute video is going to be aired on, drumroll, CNC3. Yes. So you're going to hear and you're going to see that there are ads and promos promoting it. And plenty of people are going to ask, Philip, this is CNC3. So let's get into this part of the conversation. Bridges are being built at a very fast pace where the Progressive Empowerment Party is concerned. People who you wouldn't think are peppers are peppers. And if they're not peppers, the wife is a pepper or the husband is a pepper, and they're going home and the whole family watching this video and telling them this is the government of Trinidad and Tobago that we need. When the news they published our headline, abolish SEA, parents, blow up my phone, calling me, WhatsApping me, texting me, anywhere they see me. Let me shake your hand there, brother. Let me shake your hand. All you get it. All you in that party, all you understand it. Fix the small things and the country will fix. And it's always been our policy. Progressive and empowering. And that will always drive the decisions that we make for our plans, programs, policies, and ideas. And when we say abolish the SEA, make all schools 10-year schools, and make all schools prestige schools, how do you judge that, Philip? The combined GPA of the children in the class is the teacher GPA. That teacher can't give me 2 bad years in a row and the problem not be there. A man told a cook in a diner once, he said, I eat a lot of eggs. Sunny side, boiled, poached, fried, scrambled. I eat eggs all the time. I've been eating eggs all of my life. These eggs are inedible. Who do I blame? The cook or the chicken? And we're very clear about that. We know that there are communal, institutional, and other problems. But the Finland model has taught the world. We didn't make this up. We copy and paste straight from the best performing education system in the world, Finland. So we know that it has been tried and proven. And what they say is, don't separate sheep from goat. Don't. Let all of the children learn and grow together. Carry them forward as a community. The teacher is responsible for the performance of the class and every child. The grade point average will be examined at the end of every one of the 3 terms that make up a year. And the child is not competing with the rest of the class. The child is aiming to hit the national goal average, which is, assume it is 4.0. Just for conversation's sake, assume that the national average target is 4.0. You will have some brilliant children that will do 4.4. And you'll get an average of children hitting the 4.0, and you'll get some children doing 3.9, 3.8. And you must draw a line. And you must say, anybody that come below this line requires intervention, attention, special attention. Barry Boudram say, assume they want to learn. Barry Boudram, if it's one thing I can guarantee you, as sure as the sun will rise in the morning, when you were a child, the only thing that you were absolutely certain about is that you wanted to learn. What stopped you from learning is obstacles. But human beings as children, the first 7 years of your life, you are voracious learners. When all of the synapses in your brains firing, all the neuron pathways are healthy and functional. You could learn 9 languages, play 5 instruments, learn ballet. When my son was in standard 3, he came first in math and art. Left brain, right brain. When you are a baby and a child, you're growing up, learning is all that you want to do. Everything that you do is a process of learning, even play. Play is a way to learn your body and your capabilities and the boundaries of your potential. Even play is learning. So when you say assume that children want to learn, assume that all children want to learn. Some of them will have handicaps, for want of a better word. Some of them will have dyslexia and other learning disabilities, and those children will be identified. How? because you will not be able to hit the national average. You'll not hit the national average. You will not do well. But you won't do well publicly. It will affect the school's average. It will affect the class average. It will allow us to find you quickly. Because if the national average is 4.0 and your school do 3.8, we come into your school. And if in your school all the classes is 4.0 except these three that do 3.6, 3.5, 3.4, we go into those classes. And if in those classes the teacher could identify that all of her students are performing well except these two, then we get to talk to those two and identify what might be the impediments to learning. It could be poverty, unhappiness, violence. It could be a change in circumstance. Especially children who, now that you're doing a grade point average, you can track their performance against themselves last year. Like you've been doing 3.9, 3.8, 4.0, 3.9. All of a sudden you do 3.2. Something going on. Yes, mommy and daddy divorced. Or daddy get killed in a gunfight. Or something. And you identify. Circumstances change. Petrochin closed down. Both mommy and daddy lose their work. We suffering. We live in a box. We have no time anymore to study because we're dragging water from 3 miles down the road to bed. Social development, Ministry of Education, work together when you identify the shortcomings, because we are signatories to the United Nations Rights of a Child. Chief among them, after food and water, is education. And we must make sure that they have, y'all don't come here and just pelt sponge at the screener, man. What about the parents' role? Come on, man, 36. You know better than that. As we identify the shortcomings in the home, social development will make decisions. If it is a home where violence and drug dealing or whatever is taking place, the child could be being abused. The grade point average will give you a window into that. And at that moment, counselors in the school and the social development ministry will have to make a decision to remove that child if it is in danger. All of this, a grade point average can do. A grade point average tells the entire nation that all schools supposed to be able to hit 4.0. And you tell me what your school, what your area, what your community, what your home is lacking, and we will build a bridge to that. That is the function and purpose of government. Don't lose sight of that. Don't lose sight of that for a minute. The well-being, the education and performance in school of every single child is the function and purpose of government through the Ministry of Education. The Progressive Empowerment Party is creating something revolutionary in this country to bring government and government services, the power of the cabinet, close to the citizens, called the Constituency Board of Supervisors. Supervisor of Public Works, Public Utilities, Public Health, Education and Security. The Supervisor of Education, there will be 41 of them answering to the minister. Under the supervisor, all principals come. Under the principal, all teachers come. That is a hierarchy that can get us to success. So it is very simple. It's not just abolish SEA. We have a plan. Plus, when you make all schools 10-year schools, then parents could afford to put their children to school in the community in which they live. Half the traffic in the morning and in the evening is school traffic. If you take away school traffic, you take away about half the traffic that people endure. So that's a plus. Even more plus. When you have children from the age of 5 growing together to the age of 15, you would have knitted lifelong friendships. You would have cemented a community functional. People don't rob one another when they grow up together like that. And the parents and the caregivers, primary caregivers, would have dealt with the same principal, the same vice principal, the same administrator, the same counselors, teachers, and term after term after term, growing with this child over the course of 10-year scholastic career. Everybody working together. You know the performance, you know the personality. I dealt with a parent today. She said last year her child was bullied in a prestige primary school. Bullied. This year, he is the bully. I said, well, they teach him. And I was saying that as a joke. But she said, no, but that's a fact. Because he was tired of being bullied. So now he was standing up for himself and he became a bully. This is what psychological counseling is for, because parents' hands are full at the best of times. And during that window of time, that your children is in school, you think the best of them. And you think the best of the circumstances, but you don't know. And it is the responsibility of the principal, vice principal, the administrators, and the teachers to give the best education opportunity possible to your child. And you will only know if something is going wrong when you get a bad report and behavior problems. That policy, that one policy, will bear so much fruit for this country. It will shake the roots of the vampire system, just that policy. Because every child would now have hope and opportunity and a chance to maximize their full potential. And you would be able to tell early, at an early stage. In the Soviet Union, back during the Cold War, when a baby was born, after they wait, a doctor had a responsibility to measure the baby in parts. Hamstring, calf to ankle, bicep. Measure the baby. And those measurements could have guided what is the best physical potential of this child. You could have actually, from the moment it come out the mother, foretell that if given the opportunity, like Brian Lara tell you he couldn't afford a cork ball, he used to bat with a ball therein. So he had to get better, because he had to hit something this small instead of something this big. People make do. If you have the potential, you will rise to the level you're supposed to be able to rise to. And imagine if given hope and opportunity. Beethoven, what would he have been without a piano? What would Mozart have been without a piano? Think about it. Giving children the ability to maximize their potential. And that's why we want to build 200 purpose-built schools. All the schools will be the same. The same school. All schools will have sporting facilities. All schools will have music facilities. All schools will have home economics, kitchens, besides labs, besides ways for children to become doctor, lawyer, engineer. There must be shop. There must be ways for children to learn mechanics, engineering. We must be able to identify early o'clock what is the trend of this child's predisposition and give them the opportunity to maximize their potential. 200 purpose-built schools where the security of the children, the well-being of the children, the distribution of food, the separation of the age groups, guidance counselors, audiovisual rooms, digital labs to allow them to get into information technology and information systems. If you're not teaching our children how to build apps, you've lost the plot. I see the advertising teaching children how to write in script. In 10 years, nobody writing again, everybody. And you know, we're going back to hieroglyphics. We're not even using words anymore. That's what's happening. That's the future. Stay on point. Keep current with where the world is going. There should be a class teaching children how to farm, how to grow food, how to cook food. We need to get our education system back to educating children to functionality so that they could find their potential and not just make workers for the 1%. The Progressive Empowerment Party guarantees this country that our education system in quick time will go to be the head and the best in the Western world. That is our goal, nothing less. No child will be left behind, not just a space in a class. No child will be left behind from a quality education. And that is just education. So when we say abolish the SEA, we mean abolish it. Don't abolish CXC and common entrance and bring SEA. You was playing smart with stupidness. Don't. 200 purpose-built schools will be able to take the 200,000 children that we have in this nation in our education system. And as it grows, build more schools, purpose-built, that will offer all the children a chance at a life, so that the jail don't call them, the police don't have to run them down, and social development and looking to get them a OGT, a CPEP, a URP, or any of them alphabets. Give people hope and opportunity and get out their way. And that is how a progressive country is run. That's what we intend to do. Larry Lala put out a post today, and it passed across my newsfeed. So I had to screenshot it and share it. Because those of you who don't know Larry N. Lala, he is an attorney, well-known attorney. He was in the Senate for the UNC People's Partnership, and he was a hair's breadth away from being the Attorney General when Anand Ramlogan was fired. For a minute, we all thought Larry Lala was going to be the Attorney General before it was handed to Gavin Nicholas. But Larry Lala wrote this today, and it was very eye-opening, and it is instructive. And I want you to hear his words, and you draw your own conclusion. Because I am meeting wives and husbands and sisters and brothers of MPs and senators who are outright peppers now, who say, I don't care what he's doing. I don't care what he or she think they're doing. I know the future of my country. We hear, we see, we there. This is what Larry Lala wrote. It seems, unfortunately, that all the PM's plans for our economy have backfired. His administration came to power preaching doom and gloom, and in my view, contributed to the contraction of economic activity in the country. Some suspect that this was an intentional strategy. He is outright quoting Philip Edward Alexander. Now, engaging with the expectation that by now, 2019, the economy would have been buoyed by an increase in oil and gas revenues, and the administration could have taken credit for reviving the economy. It is a fact that in TNT, there is enough wealth in the private sector to drive and diversify the economy if there is a government that is genuinely, he put it in capital letters, prepared to play the role of business facilitator and has the competence to do so. Now, I have never heard anybody at any time in the PNM or the UNC use words in that order. This is Progressive Empowerment Party policies straight out of our handbook. One cannot help but think that the Rowley administration missed a golden opportunity to develop a sustainable private sector driven economy. That's Larry Lala outside Pep door. That's Larry outside Pep door. That's our economic diversification engine model right there. As a result of its poor economic strategy, the failure of the Sandals project, and now inescapable failure of the Venezuelan Dragon gas deal, the Rowley administration has put us in a very precarious position. Now listen to me, Trinidad and Tobago. I don't mind. I like that they are waking up and speaking out. I like that they found the right hymnal from which to sing. Like in the words, this is how Mr. Lala closed this article. The country now needs leadership that is competent, capital letters, and genuinely, capital letters, committed to getting TNT on a sound economic footing, not by finding financing for mega projects, for contractors and borrowing to facilitate wasteful spending, as has happened in the past, but by quickly and effectively igniting the imagination and resources of all our people in all sectors. The agricultural, manufacturing, tourism, education, health, services, and energy sectors. What are you telling me, man? That leadership will only come. Now, this is where I was expecting Larry Lala to call on the UNC to stand up. Mr. Lala ended thusly. That leadership will only come if we truly appreciate the position we're in, and if we abandon our traditional ways of identifying and choosing leadership. In the end, we will collectively get the leadership and the country we deserve. Larry Lala, go to the head of the class. Larry Lala gets it. All of this work that I do every day, every night, 6 hours a week on the radio, every night on live videos that I get a chance to, it is resonating. I watch Michael Nahu's tonight. Michael Nahu's post. Forget the politics. Stand with the people. 28 minutes after I wrote that, I am liking that the people people are seeing. They are taking guidance, not from the bullshit artists in Balize House and the nonsense that they are parroting in the public space. There is nothing for Trinidad and Tobago in the rapidly failing and falling apart UNC. There is nothing. Ganga Singh and Fuad Khan are going to raise a motion in their Kuva meeting on the 29th. But I have one question, because people calling me and saying, Philip, that man calling for progressive leaders in the UNC, that is you. I say, leave me out all the bullshit. I have one question for Fuad Khan and Ganga Singh, and it is this. Who the ass cares what the hell you guys want? You have had your chance. We don't need Monilal and Gopi Singh and Rambachan anymore. We don't need that crew. Y'all have had a chance. Y'all have had two. Many of you have been inside the belly of that party from the very start, since it was Club 88, since it was vomited out of the NAR. You all have been there and have had opportunities. And instead of doing the things that you're calling for people to do now, you feather your nest and you eat till you get fat. Or they get so fat, or they have to go and get surgery to get back slim and want to come and eat again. Some of they can't walk straight or piss on time, but you want to come and fight down power again. Dinosaur politics. Fuad Khan, Ganga Singh, miss us with all your bullshit. You have nothing. You have nothing to give us. Fuad Khan, you have nothing. Minister of Health. Boy, I will drag you through that Port of Spain hospital, boy. I will drag you through it, and you tell me, tell the nation, because Jeffrey McLean had Manning and he had you, that the hospital is to be condemned, and after the earthquake, we lost 90% of the Port of Spain General Hospital and sent everybody Mount Hope. And Trinidad don't know that. That is why Mount Hope is madness now, because Port of Spain General Hospital ready to collapse. Why? Because Fuad Khan and Patrick Manning's people, Hamza Rafiq, was only interested in, that was Pandey. Who was Manning's Minister of Health? Well, they was only interested in putting a way for the future, right? Joke is joke, but damn joke and no joke. Don't come to the people and talk to them about progressive leadership. You wouldn't know progressive leadership if they ran up your chest and kicked you in your face. Progressive leadership is the opposite and the antithesis of everything that is the United National Congress. Nobody in Trinidad and Tobago needs to be giving any thought or any consideration to the march back in time that you're talking about. Bring back Pandey, bring back Warner. Bring them back for what? Silver bracelets to go and sit down in the jail. That we're bringing them back for. You can't be talking about bringing them back to run this country. Come on, man. You have to be a madman. You have to be a madman. Ganga Singh, water for all. Where the pipe, where the valves, where the water. Every time you get a chance, waterfall, you get rich and we ain't get no water. We get less water. Come on, man. The nation too sensible. We move too far. We come too far to go back in time and swallow that kind of bullshit again. John Rahal walking around town with Alzheimer's. He didn't know what he do and what he didn't do. Yeah, he was a Minister of Health too. That's why you're calling his name. He was Minister of Health just enough time to give himself seed up, so he and his family could build super farm and make some more millions on poor people back. That is the legacy of all of these mocking pretenders. You want to tell me, joke is joke, I'm telling all of you laughing and joking and making little kicks on the live. You want to tell me that you ain't wake up yet? What will it take? What will it take? My sister is in West Shore Hospital. She gone in there, they suspect heart. They suspect she have a heart problem. Put aside $200,000. Put aside $200,000. What will people who can't afford to put aside $200,000 do if mommy in the hospital and they suspect heart? They gotta tell you, sorry, take her General Hospital. And you're ringing that buzzer, hoping somebody pay attention to you. Trinidad and Tobago, see that bullshit? See them Lagahu, Dwen and Lajables coming from a mile away, you know. See them, you know. I see Peter O'Connor coming the live here. 50 years Peter O'Connor writing about the bullshit and the corruption of this country. 50 years he writing that. Nothing will change. It is time to change it. Not with soft talk and sweet talk and kumbaya. It is time to uproot it. am telling Trinidad and Tobago the only solution to the wars of this country is to go after all of those in the contract mafia from Eric Williams' days to now. Anything that the law allows, go and get our money back and jail those sons of bitches. We must put, I don't care if you were prime minister or president. I don't care what your role was in society and who you know and who you have on speed dial. If you misuse public office, you must pay the price. We must send a message right down society that in this country, right is right and wrong can be right too. So for those of you who watching me and listening, I hear somebody say Syrian vex you. As a half Syrian, and yes, a couple Syrians did vex me. But I'm a half Syrian. Syrian people are good people too. We just have some bandit Syrians in this country among them. And they will know my name. They will know my name. I'm telling them, I know your children in Paris. I know your children in London. We're going there. And if it is public funds that pay for their schooling and for their apartment and for their fancy car and their clothes, they will come home in a bed sheet. They will come home in a bed sheet and they will make papers too. Let them know. They have nowhere you could run. And I'm telling you, if the Progressive Empowerment Party government is in office, give us back the money, you thief. If you suspect that you wasn't entitled to it, bring it back. Don't go, you know. Don't run because we come in. And we're charging you the cost of chasing you. I want you to hear me. More than any crime in this country, corruption has destroyed Trinidad and Tobago. More than any crime in this country, theft and misappropriation of public funds is responsible for where we are as a nation. And the fastest way to fix it is to bring all those sons of bitches to justice. And if you don't like that, vote for the same shit, the same cesspool, and live in it. But stop complaining. You have a real chance now. You have a real opportunity. And any one of them, Fuad, Ganga, Colm, all of them, tell them, meet me outside. Don't give me talk to your little handler boys. Them days done. Them days done. Keep Rowley. You tell Hans Davies, you deal with me. You deal with me, brother. I was outside as an independent candidate. You come with voter-padded, gerrymandered PNM votes and want to tell me you deal with me? You never deal with me, partner. You ain't have them kind of stones. And if you think you do, come outside. I'm waiting on you. I tell Trinidad and Tobago, I will debate the lot of you public live on TV. Let the people of Trinidad and Tobago ask the questions. Let the people ask the questions. Because I want to answer. I want to stand on that stage and watch the two of you squirm. And explain to the people how we've spent, the kind of money we've spent on education, public utilities, and healthcare, and this country be such a shithole today. How we spend $90 billion, $90 billion on national security, and we can't put gas in them boats. And down in Shagaramas, my Colm inboard partner have 16 boat parker paying a rent as scrap. You don't want that debate. You don't want it. Because trust me, everybody business coming outside. And I'm telling you again, give Philip Edward Alexander parliamentary privilege. Give Philip Edward Alexander. I will read the Bible according to the bandits that have governed and operated our country since Eric Williams, that spawn of Satan, stood up and swore that he would do right by all manner of people without fear or favor, malice or ill will. We have never had a real government in this country. We have never had a caring and compassionate prime minister. We've never had leadership that sought to raise all boats like a rising tide does. We've never had leadership that wanted to give everybody in this country proper healthcare and proper education. We wanted to make sure taps were dry so you would buy tanks and pumps and buy water. So you're paying water and you're paying for it every single month. We wanted to make sure that crime and traffic is so horrendous that you don't have no time to stop and think about the conditions under which you live. But they never saw the Progressive Empowerment Party coming. And they wanted to believe in the beginning. Them is PNM, them is UNC, them is an ex-COP, that is a white boy, that is a half of 1%, and all them things fall off. We back like water on a duck. And you know what we do? We're still standing and we're standing strong. And this Saturday, for the first time in this country's history, not only have we broken all records by having a public meeting practically every week since we've been formed. This Saturday at noon, we're having two, one in North and one in South. So if they want to get a talk, tell them, talk about that. This Saturday at noon, 137 Manhattan Road, St. Madeline, on 19 Stanmore Avenue, Port of Spain. Pick where you're coming and join us. Meeting. You know why they just put all kind of obstacle in your place when you try to come to a PEP meeting? You know why they want to bad talk PEA and PEP and give you every reason to not go to a PEP meeting? Because when you show up at a Progressive Empowerment Party meeting, you want to take off what you're wearing and put on a PEP jersey. You know why? Ask Tyrone Hernandez, they play, the man who's singing this song. He know of all the political parties, we are the most catch-ass party. And he tell us, this song, this is your song. That is the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, and I am a pepper.
If it is that who you're voting, baby, on a doubt. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the proven to be only full out. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the time is now that change should come about. Just as how you vote them in, vote them out. Register and vote them out. If they can see, vote them out. State your finger and vote them out. Show them no mercy, vote them out. Vote them out with total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Put them out of power, dominate their reign. Let's put our country together again.
This Saturday at noon, 19 Stanmore Avenue. I've said that to you for 2 years. Now I have to remember to say this Saturday at noon, 137 Manahambre Road, St. Madeline. In quick time, we'll be saying this Saturday at noon, also 10th Street, Barataria and Tumpuna Road, Arima. Very soon, we'll be announcing our position in Tobago. Apparently, Tobago jumped the queue and we might be in Tobago before we in Arima, and we're negotiating in Central now. So if you want to get involved and help us and make an office space or anything available to us, reach out. Reach out to me, reach out to Felicia Holder, reach out to any of the members, the usual suspects. This Saturday at 3 o'clock. And this is a message internally for all the Progressive Empowerment Party members who consider themselves in any way part of management or the execution of PEP on the ground. You are invited to a special extraordinary meeting at Stanmore Avenue at 3 o'clock. Be there. It is very important.
If for 30 years you're voting them in, and these only tears as soon as they win, they give you big words and enslave your soul, promising you roads and living potholes.
And I have to tell somebody today, I am the most approachable politician in this country. If you see me and you know me and you support what we're doing, feel free to come and shake my hand, give me a bounce, we could chat, no problem at all. Unless you see me in a family situation. In that case, it might be a little out of timing. But other than that, I am approachable and I love to meet supporters of this party. I love talking with you. And to those who are messaging me now by the minute, by the hour to tell me all the problems that you have, I cannot solve them now. put the PDP in office, and we will fix everything in this country. As I had to tell somebody yesterday, forget about getting raise in pay. If we make the cost of living affordable, if we close the gap between wages and the cost of living, then you wouldn't have to be perennially marching for increase, because when you get your increase and they increase the prices, you got nothing.
If they are the reason why the economy goes sprout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the passing laws that them alone can flout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the building eyesores, east, west, north, and south, the same way you vote them in. Vote them out. Register and vote them out. Totally vote them out. State no finger and vote them out. Rescue the country. Vote them out.
I understand Dennis Moses on CNC3 blabbering like a jackass. There is one act that you can do immediately to solve that problem. Click.
Vote them out with tempo. They have me in play. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out with calypso and joyous refrain. Let's put our country together again. If their policy
There's a fallacy,
their bureaucracy,
a catastrophe. If they cannot cope, and you're seeing so,
then your only hope is for them to go.
if they cannot cope, and you see it so, then your only hope is for them to go.
If it is fabrication, these statements that they spout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is that frustration that's make you want to shout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out.
Before they misuse out, teeth out, sell out, and raise out. If it's you who vote them in,
Vote them out. Register and vote them out. All of them, vote them out. State no finger and vote them out. Them and the system, vote them out. Vote them out in Scarborough and in Port of Spain. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out in Camelot and in Lord of Men. Let's put our country together again.
people must come first. Citizens by right. None of the others, yellow, black, or white. Food, shelter, and clothes. Free movement and speech. A gun that grows, and one law for each. For the rest of my life, one of the memories that I will hold till I reach the end of the road was standing on a stage with Tyrone Hernandez and singing this last verse with him, with the crowd. He didn't understand how everybody knew the song almost word for word. He didn't understand that we sing this song every night. We pulled him out every time out, and he had a time and a half. But singing this verse with him,
If it is that injustice is what they always show, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out.
if it is that avarice is all they see Anthony Senator and the rest of the PEP members on the thread, Dave Lux, find a crew to answer, Beverly Ross, and a couple others who asking questions. Misty, Henry Dulal, all of you who are around, please answer these people who are asking questions about the PEP. They would like to know more, and let us bring them on board, because anybody who's asking a question is obviously interested in coming and being a part of the PEP. Because once they hear what we're about and they see who are involved, different thing. We are on the radio Monday and Wednesday 9 to noon on 104.7. Lock that, mark that, and tell everybody. It is the fastest growing show on radio now. We get hundreds of calls when you open the calls, and we open the phone lines for the duration, the 3 hours, to have all of you have your say. The Progressive Empowerment Party is about democracy. It is about freedom of speech. All of our meetings have a trademark open mic, where you can walk up and love me or hate me, have your say. And that is a testimony to the belief and the faith in civil and human rights that this party professes. If you want a better country, stop making excuses for the nonsense that we have experienced under the past 2 regimes. The criminal, corrupt cancers of the PNM and the UNC must be left in the rearview mirror, thrown on the ash heap and the dustbin of our political history, and move forward together as one people under one flag. If you want that, this Saturday at noon, if you're in the northern half of the country, 19 Stanmore Avenue, Port of Spain. And if you're in the southern half, 137 Manahamba Road, St. Madeleine. Same message, same people, well, different people, same party. Come and join. Stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.